of my, welcome to live chat. Remember to guard your privacy. Okay. Buenos Doritos, guys. What's going on? It's cold today. I'm staying inside. Well, I don't have to go anywhere today. I'm staying inside as much as I can. Drinking my bone broth. Just wait for a few people to get on. Get those likes up. If you, as soon as you get on, hit that like, smash that like button. Good morning, hello. Good morning, brother. Hello. Howdy, howdy. My cup is as big as my face. I wasn't thinking when I bought this cup. I'm like, I need a cup that's as big as my face, but I just wanted a big ass cup, so got mush. You see those guys crying like little bitches at the Senate hearing with their fake lies and their fake news, their fake soul? I got this. If you like this cup, I got this cup at Target. I don't know if they still have this particular cup, but they have some just like it. I got it at Target, and it says, don't quit your daydream. I don't know if you can see the lights. Oh yeah, you can kind of see. So, it's a bucket. I know. I was like, I thought I commented on it first because every time I use this cup, everybody's like, damn, that's a big ass cup. They're like, your cup is as big as your. That means my head must be really small too. I never really thought about it. I had this really cool cup that my mom got me, and it was Chinese. It said wisdom, and I had it for a few years, and it was just about the same size, and I tripped over it and fucking broke it. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you know how you break something and you're like, I could have totally avoided that, but I tripped over it and I broke it, and I was devastated, and I couldn't glue it back together, and I was devastated, and I went out and bought this cup. So. All right, guys, I'm gonna be on War Room tonight discussing the, I forgot to put the link, or I'll put, after this live is over, I'll put it in the description section. So it's gonna be at 5 o'clock. So I'm gonna be on with Owen, and we're gonna talk about the, the panel that we did. How many spoons of coffee? I don't really drink coffee. Most of the time I'm either drinking mud water, which is chai, cacao, and powdered mushrooms, or it's bone broth. This is bone broth today, or it's tea. And I only drink coffee if I really, really, really need to stay up. I'm not like a coffee drinker. I have coffee, but I'm not a huge coffee drinker. I do coffee. I've done coffee enemas. Maybe that's TMI, but actually, you looked that up. I heard that coffee enemas were in the Merck manual, and up until a certain point, but it's a really good way of detoxing your liver from the inside out. So, for instance, I was taking these herbs, or these tinctures years ago, and it's supposed to slowly like detox your liver. And but if you detox your liver like too fast, you can hurt yourself, and it can hurt. And during that time of the month, I wasn't supposed to take it, and I totally forgot. And I took it that morning, and I was like, oh no! And I felt like, my tongue's all orange. I felt like, because there's turmeric in here, I felt like my liver was gonna explode. I thought I was gonna die. And yeah, and I didn't die, but what I did to relieve the pressure and the pain from my liver detoxing so fast through my liver, it basically pulled it out in the other directions. I did a coffee enema, which you guys, what? But I mean, it helped detox. It was too much pressure on my liver. Like, it was pulsating. I was crying. I thought I was gonna, it was so, I was in so much pain, you guys, but the, that coffee enema really helped, right? I'm not a doctor though. You can't take, You know, I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just telling you what I did personally. Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? It's really cold. I have the heater on. Got the candles on. Thank you so much for all your kind comments and support with the panel. There's going to be one monthly. I'm going to let Anonge host it on her channel. So what I'll probably do is like put a clip on my page and just drive people over there because I want her to get her subscribers up and stuff. And I've just taken on too much. I just wanted to do it this one time. I didn't know that people were going to like it this much. The people that are watching it and the people that were on the panel. I was like, I'm just doing this one time. But, yeah, they want to make it a monthly thing, and it's not going to be just black people. It's going to be other people. So I just wanted it for that time. I like to include everybody. I felt kind of guilty about making it just black people. So I have a friend. He's Native American. He wants to join. We're going to cap it at about 10 people or so, though, because if we have more, you know, it's just going to be way too long. It already is long, but... You know, and if you guys have a group of people that you would like to get together on your own channels, you should start doing it because this is how we counter the narrative. This is how we, you know, counter their lies. It's just like when you think they can't lie anymore, they keep lying. It's even worse. And then they have the little fucking actors crying like little bitches and shit. But, you know, Maxine Waters can incite violence and all these other people can incite violence and they can burn down cities and they can, you know, shoot people that are Trump supporters and kill them and, you know, they can set people on fire, you know, that's okay. That's not inciting violence, right? And then all this evidence is coming out too that it was planned and you see people that were actually in the Capitol that were dressed up as Trump supporters that were not Trump supporters, like that guy John Sullivan who was he's been shown being, he's had this all social media of Black Lives Matter. These people, thank God these people are stupid because it's like they're so stupid. I'm like, if you're gonna play a dual role, why don't you take down your social media when you were in Black Lives Matter before? You know? Ridiculous, you know? But I mean, in their hubris actually, their pride is their downfall, and that's good for us. So I guess we have to be thankful for that in some form or fashion. But it's just like, all right. Like Project Veritas, do you see that guy, the dude that was like, he was like in the car with the absentee ballots. He's from Somalia. And he's like, wahash, wahash. Numbers don't lie. Absentee ballots, wahash, wahash. And he posted his own video to his social media. But then the media comes back and they're like, oh, Project Veritas does selective editing. I'm like, motherfucker, he posted his own video. He fucking told on himself. You guys are so stupid. Oh my God. It's just like, you can't make this shit up. You can, but I mean, like, it's not made up. You can't make it up because it's truth. The truth is stranger than fiction. That dude told on himself. He told on himself, you guys. It's fucking retarded. Okay, ask me some questions because my computer is still, it's stable. It's in a coma right now. It's gonna survive though. I think it's gonna make it. Oh yeah, that's a massive mug. Yeah, you missed the commentary on the mug earlier. I'm drinking a cup of love, that's right. Yeah, somebody said that guy was the earth is flat. All right. That was funny, y'all. When I said the world spins on, I got all the flat earthers. They're like, the world, they're like, the wheel in the sky keeps on turning, but it doesn't spin. I was like, oh shit. I mean, it's just a phrase. I didn't think I was gonna ruffle up the flat earthers. That was funny. Do I own any firearms? Yes. You want to buy some from me? What do you want to know? I'm in Texas. Come on, everybody owns a firearm here. It's like, it's so chic here. Doesn't take much to ruffle up the flat earthers. Hello. I'm in Texas. I own a machete too. And a firearm. And I need to get better at shooting. My friend, we're gonna hang out on next week and we're gonna go shooting. So I want to get better. I want to get more comfortable at carrying guns. And I don't really, I even have on my license to carry. I took the course, but I'm not really comfortable carrying it out. I need to get a holster and all that stuff. I sleep with my fist balled up. Yes, right. Hey Denise, yeah, we're live, but I'm not taking any calls because all the software, it's on my laptop that's in a coma right now. So pray for my computer. I really need to get a new one, you guys. The power supply was messed up, so really I just ordered another cord. Thank God that's all that was wrong with it. So, I mean, it is recorded, Denise. It is recorded. I'm just not taking live. We are live, technically, so I'm pretty much getting all your comments in real time, but I can't. I'm not taking, like, I need Skype and, like, OBS and all that stuff, and that's on my laptop. So my computer's not turning on because the power supply was messed up, so I had to get another one. But it, like, sparks came out, like, I was like, oh my God, my computer exploded. But I need to get a new computer soon, though. It is vintage, so when I call the Apple store, they're like, that's a vintage model. I'm like, it's 7 years old. They're like, it's a vintage model. I'm like, all right, well. So I probably will be getting a computer sometime this year. But I have to, I have to wait. You know, I have to save up enough money. Those things are expensive. And it's like, my friend and I were talking the other day. Yeah, and it's like which computer is more evil? Like the Windows PC owned by the genocidal maniac that's trying to kill everybody with his fucking, you know, mosquitoes, genetically altered mosquitoes and vaccines, or the communists own like Apple. They're both evil. They're both equally as evil for different ways, in different ways. So it's like you just gotta take what works best for you, and use their weapons against them. That's it. You know, like. I have a Kurzweil. A Kurzweil. My keyboard is a Kurzweil. It's beautiful. It's 88 keys weighted. That's vintage. They don't even make those anymore. But a Kurzweil's he's a technocrat. He wants people to merge with the machines. But I'm gonna make music to wake people up to fucking, you know, fight against it. You got to use these people's tools against them. They create great things, but at the same time, you know, they're evil people. Right? All these people that we liked in Hollywood that, you know, are allegedly like these pedophiles and Satanists, they're good at what they do. A lot of them are talented. They're either good singers or they're good songwriters or they're good dancers or they're good actors. They're good. You can't deny that. But sometimes, you know, art speaks through evil people. You gotta like learn to separate those and see, you know. It's kind of, I believe it's kind of like its own thing. It's great if you, if there's a person that creates art and they're good, that's even better, but. Oh yeah, the OBGYN that died, or it's the doctor. Dude, that was so sad. And you know what? What's crazy is that, if it's the same doctor you think, or you're talking about, she was, oh, she didn't die. There's another I'm sorry. There's somebody else sent me a text where she was posting on, oh, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get the shot because I need to be responsible for my patients and I need to be responsible for the baby that I'm having. And 8 days later, she had a miscarriage right after she got the vaccine. And it was warned that you shouldn't take the vaccine if you are planning on having kids, because they were just saying that, like, you know, they don't know. They'd never know, though, because if you look in the inserts, it says it's not tested for the ability to impair fertility. None of the vaccines are. And I just trip out when people are like, oh, it's not tested for carcinogenesis or mutagenesis or the ability to impair fertilities. And it doesn't have any long-term studies. And you can't sue the vaccine court. I'm like all vaccines? Thanks for waking up today, guys, because I've been saying this for years. So, poor lady, poor doctor. I mean, like, I know people come up here and they get, Well, I know John Eli, but technically I don't. I'm gonna say vaccines right now. Technically they're not a vaccine. You're right, but they're okay, injections. So we should just say injections because because you're injected with something doesn't mean it's a vaccine. So, but I just, for the sake of argument, if you want to go into that, um, yeah, technically it's not a vaccine. They're just straight up putting poison in us. I don't even see how they can make a vaccine if they haven't even isolated it. So it's like, what are they putting in there? Oh, chemicals and shit to kill us. Sterilization. So you should call it sterilization injections, right? Somebody said, poor doctor, stupid doctor. No, I mean, I'm not gonna, like, she's already punished enough just by the simple fact that her baby died. Like that just has to be so devastating. That has to be so, like, just horrible. And the thing that really makes me upset is I'd be surprised if she's gonna put two and two together and even realizes that it was a vaccine, because a lot of people, they just double down, you know. I've noticed they have vaccine injury a lot of times, or they double down. And it's a lot of people, it's too painful to admit that they were the reason that their baby died. So I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. I'll pray for that. I pray for them. I hope that she does put two and two together and they try to get pregnant again and she realizes that it was a vaccine, because if not, she's just going to do the same thing over again. There was this really good article a few years ago called, like, I'm One of You Now or something. No. It was called, I used to roll my eyes at mothers who said vaccines cause their child autism. Something like that. It was a long title. And it was about this lady who had 3 kids and they were all autistic. And she had vaccinated them and she was super pro-vaccine. And, and she made sure her kids were up to date. And one of her kids was starting to get better through diet and through, I don't know, whatever else she was doing. He was actually starting to come back. And then she vaccinated him again and he regressed. And that's what, like, made her wake up to vaccine injury. But before that, and she meant it, she was like, I was very stubborn. It was a really good article because it was really humbling. She was like, I was really stubborn. I was very, I believed in vaccines. I thought anybody that said that vaccines cause their kids autism was stupid and they just weren't taking responsibility and whatever. But now she's like, I'm one of you guys now. I'm so sorry. It was basically her apology and talking. It was a really good article, and I commend her for doing that. So, and as far as the guy that's saying, yeah, I mean, technically, I get what you're saying. That's like, oh, we shouldn't call them vaccines, but it's just like, I've had to, like, kind of, it's like, okay, when I've taught all grades, okay? Honestly, the hardest grade I feel to teach is kindergarten, because you have to teach people the fundamentals. You can't teach children how to spell unless they know their alphabets. You can't teach them. So first they have to learn the alphabets. They have to learn the sounds of the alphabets. They have to learn their phonics. And then after they learn those, they can learn how to read. And then once they learn how to read, they can learn how to spell and all that stuff. And they learn phonics, they can learn how to spell. So I kind of feel like people getting the fundamentals down when talking about this stuff, it's way over people's heads. And sometimes I'll just go off and talk about the vaccines, and it's just like people will just stare at me like the deer in the headlights. And technically, for it to be a vaccine, it has to have an antigen in it. And because the antigen, according to their science, is a thing that, like, keeps they basically, you're injected with the antigen and your body is supposed to fight the antigen or off, and that's what's supposed to make you immune. Now there's so much bullshit between that, like, explanation, because the antibody theory is wrong. What we believe about antibodies is not true. and how that works, about titer count, like all that shit's just wrong. So yeah, I was actually talking to a friend about this the other day, where they're having a panel, and one of the people wants to be like, well, technically it's not a vaccine. I'm just like, but they're kind of fighting. They're like, yeah, we know, but for people to get it, like people don't even understand the difference between a syringe or a vaccine. They think a syringe is a vaccine. Syringe is used to give a vaccine, but it's not. Just because you're injected with something doesn't necessarily mean it's a vaccine. So I get it, but it's like people don't even know that they're different. There's like the Moderna vaccine, and then there are other Pfizer's vaccine. They don't even know. They're just like, oh, the vaccine. Like they don't even put together that they're different companies that are making the same type of vaccine but have different patents on it. It's just, I've really had to figure out how I can get this information out to people in a very succinct way. And it's just like, I've kind of come to the conclusion that I feel that there's just some people that aren't going to wake up. And I was talking to another one of my friends. He has his own channel, Awakening Infinity, and he's awesome. His name is Ben Stewart. But we were talking, and he was just like, I don't really even know, like, he goes, a lot of people, like where we're at now, a lot of people are going to have to been studying this stuff for 10 years to really understand what's going on, and how do you reach out to people. And he was just like, yeah, I feel like something big is really coming, and they're just people that are going to be wanting help, and they're just going to be like, I don't know what's going on, but something's big is going to happen, and we need people to kind of help teach and guide people that want, that need help understanding it. And it's just like, I don't trust manufacturing process. Yeah. I mean, that's another layer to it. But even if the manufacturing process is good, it's like, we don't fucking need vaccines. Like, bottom line, we don't fucking need them. We've never needed them. How do we survive 200,000 years on a planet without vaccines? How did all the other livestock and all the other animals and everybody survive? That's the thing. That's the big thing. Like, we don't need them. And according to my research and my experience, it's causing all of the autoimmune diseases right now. We don't need allopathic medicine except for like injuries and accidents and emergencies. That's it. So I feel like they've overstepped their bounds with trying to get in the middle of health, especially when they're not going to be honest about the obesity conversation, because they're worrying about hurting people's feelings and their ego because they're like 500 pounds overweight. And I'm not saying that they're bad people, or I'm not saying that we should make fun of them, but we need to offer them support and be honest with them about this. Look at all the people that are dying from all these complications. Vaccines cause people to get diabetes. I have a friend whose daughter got diabetes after vaccine, type 1. And I kind of wonder, I have a friend who died, a really good friend of mine, was like a brother. He died a couple of years ago from complications of diabetes. He was only 40. He was really young. And he got diabetes though when he was 18. And it was like, we were all shocked. And he was just, but you know what? He was one of the first one of us to travel outside of the US, and he traveled and he got he went to Japan, he went to Israel, he was traveling, and I know that he got shots. He had to get injections, and then right after that he was he got type 1 diabetes. So it was just like, I'm guessing that the vaccines gave him diabetes, or I can't say for sure, but now that I know what I know, I didn't know at the time, and now that I know what I know, I'm pretty sure he just got, because it just came out of the blue, nobody in his family had it, and that's another lie, the genetic lie, right? Because what they do is they fill you full of toxins, whether it's from the vaccines or the GMOs and all this bullshit, and then when you get sick, they're like, oh, it's your genetics. That's what narcissistic social psychopaths fucking do. They attack you, and then they blame you for it. And then this whole myth of science shit. It's like, oh, the genetics. Oh, it's, yes, but they completely leave out epigenetics, which is more important to me than genetics. because I think maybe you can have some predispositions to stuff, but the fact is vaccines hurt everybody. They'll probably hurt them differently according to their genetics, but the epigenetic component is the fact that something from the outside came over and trumped their genetics and attacked them, right, or made them sick. So it's getting diabetes. I mean, everything. I have military friends that have like diabetes, that have like, people have even written me, they from military people are fucked up. And what's even worse is that it's like they're so sick that they need their benefits in order to support themselves and their families. But if they spoke out on vaccines, then they'll lose their benefits. Isn't that like the most fucked up thing ever? It's fucking diabolical. So I feel like that's why I get so mad when people are like, just vaccinate your kids. And somebody the other day was like, oh, Sticks, Hexenhammer. I was like, fuck that motherfucker. I was so pissed when he said that. And like, I have people that are suffering, that are dying, their lives are fucking ruined because of vaccines. And if they can't even speak out on it. And then here comes people that know what the fuck they're talking about. And they're just like, oh, you're putting us all in danger. Shut the fuck up, dude. I can't even, Yeah, the idea that you can have one size to... Yeah, I mean, but you don't need vaccines. Health is holistic, you guys. It's the air that we breathe. It's the amount of sunshine that we get. It's the water that we get. It's the food and the nutrition we put into our bodies. It's our mental state. It's our stress levels. All of that encompasses our health. But you should think that you can just fix that with an injection. And, they're also appealing to people's laziness because... I remember one time when I was working Lyft, I lifted this lady and she was really nice and she was a nurse, but she had epilepsy and we were talking about it and I was like, do you know about, and she was open to it and I was like, that's like a vaccine injury and blah, blah, blah. And I was telling her and I was like, yeah, you should look into it. You might have to change your diet. You might have to do this. And she's like, well, what if people don't want to do that? What if vaccines, so people kind of have this idea that vaccines are like the shortcut that people can use to if they don't want to exercise. And like, that's just not how it works, Yeah, oh dude, I saw the comment about Germany. Yes, a lot of them were MDs. Yeah, it's holistic. And then people laugh at it. And then all these people that are writing these blogs, these science blogs, they look fucking terrible. They look awful. They don't look like they're healthy. Whether they're underly skinny or overweight, or they have black rings around their eyes, or they have bad skin, or they have and I'm not saying like bad skin is a sign of, because your skin is your largest organ, so you're pushing, if you have a lot of either acne, either it's hormonal or it's something that you're eating and you're pushing it out. And either way, your hormones are imbalanced, or you're eating something that's causing your skin to go crazy. You're not drinking enough water, whatever, But they don't know simple shit like that, but they're trying to tell us, like Biden picked that lady that's like what's her she's fucking a transgender that's overweight and I'm like, don't you know anything about hormones? Hormones are bad, you guys. Don't even get me started. Even birth control. Yes, birth control. I think I'm rambling, but there are ways to, you look into Billings method and rhythm method, and there are other ways, neem oil, there are things that you can do that are natural to curb your birth control besides abstinence. If you don't want to be abstinent, then you can. And I knew about this when I was younger because I remember one of my girlfriends was from Japan and she was like, oh, I don't use birth control. I was like, how do you not get pregnant? Like, how do you do it? She told me about the rhythm method. I was like, oh, shit, Yeah, so I didn't know that. Yeah, so anyway, I tried, because I have endometriosis, so they put me on they put me on birth control in, like years ago. And I probably tried it not even almost a year, and it made me a crazy person. And thank God for my friend who was just like, "You're a fucking bitch." That he fucking just straight up was like, I had no patience, and I felt like like an SJW, like one of those angry feminists. Like that's how I was. That's how I was. I was just like, "Arr!" like, and I knew I was angry, and I knew I had no patience, and I just felt wrong. I just felt off, like mentally, but I couldn't describe it, and I was like, it has to be the birth control pills. Yeah, it won't help with endo. Yeah, it won't. But they're fucking retarded. But that's what they told me, and I was like, yeah, just anything to stop the pain. Just anything. Just anything. But yeah, cutting carbs and all that stuff too. Cutting all the I was like Antifa. I think Antifa, they taking birth control. But look, all these women too, and I had a really good conversation with one of my friends last night, and we were talking about like. They were talking about all the women when they get older and when they get like when they go through menopause and their hormones get all crazy, and they're talking about men. He was talking about being an older man, that like women, when they start to change, it's like maybe men are in love with their wife and then their hormones change and they go crazy, and then the men are like, oh, her hormones change and that's not fucking natural, you dude. It's because it's because they've been on birth control for like 30 fucking years. Okay? 30 fucking years. Imagine what these like synthetic hormones do to you for 30, 40, maybe more, however long you've been on them. I know people that have been birth control as early as 9 years old, when they started, because they were like, oh, it'll help your cramps. Take some pills. But really, I detoxed from that shit. I did Bikram yoga for I don't have any of that shit in my body anymore. It's fucking done. It's done. I'm over it. No xenoestrogens, all the xenoestrogens in the environment, in the soy shit, So if you're like this woman that's, very, if you're a vegan and you're eating a lot of soy products, with what is this stuff? If you're using hand sanitizer with all the triclosan in it, all fucking xenoestrogen shit, and you're taking birth control, and then you hit 40, and then your hormones go through a change because, but you have all this fake shit in your system too. You're gonna lose your fucking mind. Like hormones make you crazy, Like I used to be. And if people want to have sex changes and stuff when they're adults and they can make that decision, that's fine. But I don't think it's healthy to be dependent on any kind of medication. So if you're going to be in a war situation, but you're on hormones, but you have to have hormones in order to survive. But if you're like in a war situation and something happens, what if you can't get the hormones and you lose your fucking mind? I don't think you should be able to fight, be in the military if you're on that shit. And I would even make the argument, even for women that are on birth control, honestly, I don't think that, but the people that have the sex change operations, it's because you can stop as a woman, you can stop taking the birth controls stuff, and then eventually you can detox it out of your system. But if you're dependent on that stuff to stay normal, as somebody that's had a transgender operation, that shit's gonna fuck you up. All right? I'm like, if that wasn't an issue, I wouldn't care. If people, and I'm not saying that they're not bad people. I'm not saying that, transgender people are bad people. I'm not saying that they're not capable. But I'm just like, it's just a bad recipe. And, God forbid shit hits the fan, we like the power goes out or whatever. Those are the people who are gonna flip their shit. It's like the heroin addicts, all the drug addicts, all the people on hormones and shit. I remember I went to this store right before Corona, and I went to the store, and there was this, I think it was a guy that was transitioning to a woman. I couldn't really tell. I'm usually good at it, but I could not tell. I think it was a guy though. And we were talking about probiotics and stuff. Yeah, why are there so many women with endometriosis? Yes, that I think it's a vaccine injury. I swear, like, I mean, it has to do with some of that. You know, it's so, yeah, it shouldn't be that common, right? Like, why is it common? It's common in black women too, and I kind of wonder. No, I'm sorry, fibroids are common in black women, but you know, there's a I know there's one study, and then there's just kind of assumptions that the hair products that a lot of black women use also have a lot of hormone disruptors in it, and cancer carcinogenic stuff. What is endometriosis? I'm glad you asked that, Scott. It's when like the okay, I'm about to get gross. If there are kids around, like just hide them. The lining of your uterus actually ends up like outside of your body, like it in your body and stuff, and it's like pieces of that get outside, and then it responds to your hormones. So like the lining of your uterus, when the egg comes down, it's supposed to like kind of inflate, and it makes it like a cushion. So when the egg comes down, it's kind of like soft or whatever. So just picture like when the egg is released, it comes down the tube. It's like, and it's like boing, you know, kind of. But so the lining is preparing for the egg, and it like expands, right? If you have pieces of the lining outside of your uterus that are around your body, no matter where they are in your body, when your hormones are activated, they expand outside your body. So, so during that time of the month, when that happens, it basically expands around your other organs and stuff. I hope that's, I don't know. Look it up. Yeah, so it hurts like a fucking bitch. And like I'm doing so much better though, but like, you know, it also like my joints hurt. Like everything is inflamed. Like my joints hurt, my back hurts, my neck hurts. I have headaches. I feel like when people, I haven't had migraines a lot, but I feel like it's like a migraine in your body. It's fucking awful. And the first couple days I can like, you know, function. But I mean, now it's gotten better. I do like progesterone stuff, and I do like, and it's not medical advice. You guys, I'm getting my health coaching license, so I have to be careful and be like, I'm not a doctor, but I'm just letting you know what I do. Cutting out gluten has been a game changer. Cutting out, just not eating a lot of processed food, drink a lot of water, exercising, because also if you have a lot of estrogen, you know, your liver has to purge that, your body has to purge that. If you sweat it out, that's another way, just having a lot of exercise. Yeah, cutting all that stuff. So I drink a lot of turmeric now in my bone broth. That helps. So it's terrible. But I think that like, yeah, the relaxers, the chemicals that black women use to relax their hair. I do yoga. I do yoga in my bathroom. I figure I got a humidifier and a heater, and I do Bikram yoga in my bathroom because that shit, A, was expensive, okay, and B, they were just too like, you have to wear a mask. I was like, fuck this shit, I'm out. Fucking wearing masks doing Bikram yoga. What was it saying? Oh yeah, so the chemicals that like when you relax your hair, it basically breaks down your bonds. So basically you put this stuff on, it looks like mayonnaise, you know, and it has high concentrations of lye in it, some other chemicals, and you like, say I put it on my hair and I painted my hair, just kind of like when you dye your hair, right? But the bonds, it changes the structure of your hair. So basically you have to shape your hair in the shape that you want it to, while the chemicals are basically eating through your hair, right? And if you have a certain amount of time to shape your hair in that permanent situation before it eats your hair through your hair, basically, because if you leave it too long, it'll break your hair off because it would eat all the way through your hair. And you know, you can get scalp burns and all this other stuff, but also you have to rinse it out, and then you also have to deneutralize the chemicals, put something on top of it to deneutralize the chemical process, because even if you rinse it out, it would still work to a certain degree. Well, just think of your pores, right? Your scalp has pores in it, and it's still absorbing all that stuff, right? So your pores and stuff is going through like, what do you call it? Like your pores absorbing all the chemicals through your skin, and it's going into your bloodstream, and eventually, it can lead to all other things. And I met this lady, because I know I have some women that are natural, but I think if you're natural, if you don't understand this culture, it's kind of funny. When you kind of go natural, it's kind of like leaving a cult. I swear to God. And then you see other people that are natural, like, oh girl, like how long have you been natural? Because from the time that we're young, a lot of black women, we're not taught to take care of our hair, so they just throw like either you get braids or you slap chemicals on top of your head. And then the braids, the synthetic braids that is made too, they also have chemicals in it, because they're a type of synthetic plastic that has these chemicals in it too, and those also are carcinogenic and hormone disrupting. But I'm digressing. So I saw this lady. I was like, oh girl, like how long you been natural? Yeah, it is very freeing, right? Somebody was going natural is freeing, especially when you know how to do. Yeah, like I'm not scared of the rain anymore. I can go swimming, Because it's like you hear the stereotypes of black women. They're like afraid to go swimming, but it's because you spend so much time on your hair. You don't want to fuck your hair up. It's fucking, and I still, depending on what I'm gonna do, I still can spend a significant amount of time, but it's still just not the same. Like I'm not afraid of nature. Basically, it makes you afraid of nature, and then I can go into a whole nother thing about how I feel like that's just one of the plan among all the other human beings to detach us from nature. But anyway. Yeah, so, the lady. So I walk in the lane, we're talking, and I was like, oh, why'd you go natural? And she was like, I had a friend that was a mortician, and he worked in a funeral home that served mostly black people. And he goes, whenever he would do black women, like a lot of times, I guess, to pull the skin up sometimes to make the face look better, they'd have to kind of do like a facelift or whatever. And he goes, he would have to cut into the scalp. And if they had a relaxer, that there was this thick layer of crystallized like crust that was made from the relaxers they had through the years. And she was like, oh, fuck that. Like, after I found out about that, I was just like, I'm fucking getting this shit out of my head. So that's kind of crazy, right? It's kind of crazy. Plus, what is that doing to your brain? And these kids, and, it's like, it's just not good. I like hair. I love styling hair. I probably will straighten my hair, but if I do it, I'll do it with heat, because it's not chemicals, and it will just revert back when it gets wet. I like dyeing hair. I like, braiding it and curling it, and, all this other I love hair. My cousin and I, we kind of bond. She's a hairstylist, and she would experiment a lot on me, but it's just. And then for white people, I forgot about you. It's the tanning shit. Like, that shit fucks you up. Like, all the chemicals. Like, Trump, like, I mean, can't be good for all, unless maybe there's a natural product that he uses, but the skin shit. Like, your skin is your largest organ, and you're painting your skin with that shit. If it has chemicals in it. I think there's more natural stuff now, but that shit's bad, It's like, they try and get us all kinds of way. So, I remember one time I was watching Alex Jones, before I really understood, like, he was like, it's in everything. They put the chemicals in everything. I was like, all right, come on, man. They don't put the chemicals in everything. And now I'm like, oh my God, they put the chemicals in everything. He's right. The lotions, she went tanning. I don't care. Like, I don't think, I'm not judging people that tan, but I'm just saying, just think about, even when you wear makeup, I've only really worn foundation if I had to do photo shoots and stuff, but I try and get the most natural, but foundation is bad. Foundation ages you. Like, just think about, you're putting paint on your face. Would you put paint on your face and wear it every day? And I remember I was lifting, and there were these cute little girls. They were, they're in college. I call them little girls. So they were like in college, and they were talking about like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I was out late night and I was partying, and this girl was like, oh yeah, man, I had, I just go to sleep with my makeup on all the time. I was like, girl, don't do that. I was like, she was like, what? I was like, don't fucking go to sleep with your makeup on, if anything that you do, especially if you have foundation. I've done it sometimes with mine, but it's like the eyelashes, you have mascara, it's gonna dry your eyelashes out. Your eyelashes are gonna that's why you start losing your eyelashes. One of the reasons, right? You can start to lose your eyelashes. You're putting mascara on, but you're not conditioning your eyelashes, right? You use castor oil or coconut oil to put on your eyelashes after you take your makeup off so your eyelashes aren't dry. Just think of your hair like your hair, right? If your hair is not moisturized, it's gonna break off. Same thing with your eyelashes and your eyebrows and stuff like that. But hopefully she listened. I was like, girl, don't go to sleep with your makeup on. You have really light, oh, you're a redhead, you have really light eyelashes, but are they thick? Or they can still be light and thick. I wear mascara, but I wear natural mascara, but I have long eyelashes, but I think I have long eyelashes because I still condition my eyelashes. You just don't want them to dry out and stuff, The castor oil is really good, you guys, for those that are wondering. You get one of those little mascara wands and just with the blank ones, not the ones that you just get the mascara ones and put castor oil in before you go to bed. Just months. Supposedly, I haven't really tried as much in my eyebrows. I could use a little thinning in there, but yeah, you said wearing makeup makes you actually look younger, so you go makeup free. Yeah, castor was amazing. It doesn't smell so good though. You consider person, oh, in junior high, I mascaraed my... You mascared your peach fuzz mustache, that's funny. Yeah, it's, the thing about having good skin is just that it's healthy. That's it. It's like, you just want healthy skin, because your skin, I think biologically speaking, people look at, even on a subconscious level, if somebody has bad skin, it means that there's something else going on inside them, right? And then it's like on a subconscious level, you don't want to procreate with somebody that that has genetic issues, and not that people are even thinking that consciously, but I think that's the thing. And I wish when I was in school, I had the liberty to talk to some of my students about this. I had the cutest kid. He just was so smart, but he also had the best personality. He was just adorable, but he had really terrible acne. And I kind of mentioned it a little bit, during class, but if I was a science teacher, I would have my students do experiments with their diet and see how it would affect their acne and all that stuff. But I did do, we'd have a break time, and then I would never drink soda. And one of the kids was like, teacher, I never see you drinking soda. And I was like, oh yeah, that's because it's poison. And they all gasped. They're like, you don't like soda? I was like, it's so bad for you. You don't know it's soda. So I found this infographic called The Sip of Soda, and I brought it into them, and they were floored. And I don't know, you try and put out knowledge wherever you can. I don't know how many people it took to that, but I started really taking notice of soda when I had my first waiting job, and I got all the free soda I can drink, and I love root beer, and I would just drink root beer forever. And then my face exploded, and I was like, oh, the high fructose corn syrup is probably, at the time I didn't even know what that was, but I put the connection that my face broke out when I start drinking 4 or 5 cups of soda every day, making root beer floats at work. Oh my God, root beer floats. Oh my God, the best. Root beer floats. You know what's even better? Cream soda floats. Which now I'm trying to quit sugar, so I can't eat it, but I'm not taking calls. That's why I'm talking my ass off. I'm not, because my computer's still in the coma. You know what's even the best? What's even the bomb? Cream soda with chocolate ice cream. Like I call it like a reverse float or whatever. Oh, for those of you guys who still want to drink the poison sugar, but chocolate ice cream with cream soda, hell yeah, that shit's the bomb. Your grandma used to make root beer? Ah, that would be great. I know diabetes. I know you're killing me. I know, right? What's up, the John? What's up? I know. Oh, salsa. You know it's good too? You can put like salsa water and mix it with juice. That's good. I think you can make cream soda and root beer without, the high fructose corn syrup. I mean, it's still sugar, but it's not so bad. Your body will process it better without the high fructose corn syrup. Fructose corn syrup. Yeah, you do. You mix it with the juice, and that's good. Yeah, the carbonation. Yeah. They have those really good Italian sodas that don't have high fructose corn syrup though too. It still has a ton of sugar in it, but it's cane sugar. A lot of it's cane sugar. It's not like the high fructose corn syrups. Smoothies are good too. Yeah. Lemon with honey is good too. Juicing lemon with honey. Lemon with honey, I use that. It is good for your throats, to coat your throats. Yeah, Italian soda is great. Now I feel I'm like, any flavoring that is healthy to add to water. You can just mix water and juice together. Oh, who told me? You tell me about John Bergman? That's my man. You don't know that? That is my man. John Bergman? Yes. I'm actually watching him right now to help with an assignment I have to do for my class. He's amazing. He's phenomenal. He's somebody, I think, if I met him in person, I'd be like, oh my God, Dr. John Bergman. Like you have Brad Pitt over here. I'm like, Brad Pitt, whatever. Oh my God, Dr. John Bergman. I fucking love that guy. He's so giving with his knowledge. He's such a good teacher. And he teamed up with that American Biodental in Mexico, where I had my amalgams taken out because I had like 12 amalgams. That's another thing that I did too, like just trying to get my body as detox as I could. I had 12 amalgam fillings, you guys, mercury fillings, and they do I think it's either the Huggins or the Higgins protocol. I know I would like to interview him. I have a few interviews I'm trying to snag before that, but I think I will eventually interview him for sure. Yeah, I like him a lot. There are a lot of people I want to interview. I want to interview Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Humphreys, him. He's on my list. I tell you, I have a list a mile long. I don't remember how much it was, but I remember it was not expensive. That's why I went down there. And they had the best service. They're the sweetest people. It's interesting. It's actually freer in Mexico to practice some medical practices than it is in the United States. That's why they thrive there. Tons of people. And basically you go to the border. It's called American Biodental. Check out American Biodental. They have, basically you go to the border and then they'll come and they'll pick you up. Like, so if you fly in from the air, like I flew in, from LA. I was living in LA at the time, and I went to San Diego, and they picked me up from the airport, and they drove me over there, and they have a hotel in the place where you get. So I stayed overnight because they did half my mouth one day and half the next day. So, and it was so much more. I mean, I probably would have paid. I was thinking it was like 4 times as much, 5 times as much had I done it here with the protocol. And there's a protocol that they have to follow because it's like when they drill through the mercury, it still releases a gas. So they have to have air circulating. They have to have a rubber dam in your mouth. There's certain protocol that they have to follow because a lot of times when people get their mercury fillings removed, they can get even sicker because they're releasing the mercury back into the bloodstream. So they follow the protocol so you don't get the mercury released back into the bloodstream. And then they also did The fillings that they use were what's the word? They basically do a blood test. You have to get blood testing to send it in. It's called American, what is the name? Mo-Better, what is the name? It's called American Biodental. But it's in Mexico. It's like in Tijuana. So they do like a testing, whatever the materials that they use, they try to match it to your biology as close as they can. So there's no like, reaction. It's great. They're wonderful. So basically, I went on that tangent because John Bergman teamed up with him or them. And they also do chelating. They also do also have other services too. And they test your heavy metal levels. Mines were off the chart. I'd be curious to get, I brush my teeth all the time. I'd be curious to get another test, but mines were up the chart. And I think that's because, one of the reasons, not just because of the amalgam fillings that I had, but when I was younger, I got allergy shots for 3 years. And I think that made me not express my breakouts outward, but then I had to deal with a lot of internal inflammation. And allergy shots have a shit ton of aluminum inside. So yeah. But yeah, John Bergman's the bomb. Yeah, he's amazing. Dr. Eric Berg too. And Dr. Axe. You guys watch those people too? They're really good. Hello. Missing. Hello, I'm just saying hello. Hello, my love, hello. Those are good doctors. Sarah Timbany, Suzanne Humphreys, they talk mainly on vaccines. Suzanne Humphreys, I posted a couple of her videos for Vaccine Sucks Saturday, but flu shots have aluminum and yeah. But the allergy shots for me, I spent 3 years of my life getting allergy shots every Saturday. That's how I spent my Saturday mornings, was getting allergy shots. Because my allergies were so bad, I couldn't sit on a grassy knoll without breaking out. I couldn't go and walk around trees without breaking out or like having an asthma attack. My allergies, I was like bubble girl. Like I couldn't be around dogs, cats, anything with fur, and just everything, mold. I was just fucked up. So, but it suppresses everything, right? So it looks like it's working. And then I go in and I wouldn't break out on the outside, but yet I'm getting internal inflammation on the inside. So now I put it all together as I've gotten older. But, at the time, I was just like, oh, it's working because crazy. I'm still allergic to some trees and I love trees. And but I mean, it used to be like really bad when I was young, like really, really bad. I was always sick. I was always sick at least a week out of every month. I would always get at least a bronchial or pneumonia infection at least once a year. Like I was always sick. It's like, what childhood did I have, right? Because I was just always fucking sick. I think one time in my whole life when I was a kid, I got like perfect attendance. And it was like a huge thing because I never was like, it was just like allergic to tree huggers. I know. I love trees, like oak trees. I'm allergic to oak trees. Wow, your sister died of asthma. Oh, I'm so sorry. Yeah, what's crazy? Like more people have died from asthma than all these whack-ass diseases that are pushing people to get like the vaccines. More people have died of asthma than the measles. But, the measles vaccines can give people asthma. It's retarded, I've almost died a couple of times. I've had two instances where I've been in the hospital. One, I really thought I was going to die. My mom was like, Lord Jesus, please don't take my baby. And I was like, I was so embarrassed. I was embarrassed and I was scared. I'm like, I might die. And then my mother is being a crazy Jesus mom in the hospital, yelling and shit. I was like, just keep your eyes down, please. Like, And then they pump you full of those fucking like steroids that make you feel like you're cracked out. Oh, I hate that. They put you on that breathing machine. It's fucking awful. And I always hate when I've had to do it. And they gave me one eventually to take home with me, and I would do it if my asthma got really bad and if I could avoid going to the hospital. But I felt like every time I like would get off the machine, I was just like, I was really jittery, and it just felt like I was like bugged out. It was awful. You know, just like, it's fucking, ugh. So if you take 2 peas of black seed, it would help your white blood cells to fight off anything. Black seed. There's so much crystal meth. Yeah, like, I felt like a meth. I felt like my bones are gonna break, and I felt like, that's how I feel when I drink Red Bull. Have you ever had Red Bull? I can't drink Red Bull because I feel like my bones are gonna crack. I'm just like, it's crazy. Like, I already have big ass eyes. It's like my eyes get even bigger. I'm just like, it's crazy. It's crazy. I can't drink Red Bull anymore. It makes me feel weird. Yeah. Imagine if love healed. Oh, wait. It does. Cold turkey. Yeah. Sugar is my thing right now. I'm trying to quit. I fucking love sugar. But who doesn't? Because it's great. There's that, what is that book called? The Sugar Blues? And there was this old actress named Gloria Swanson. I've seen pictures of her, I don't think, but she was like way back in the day. I think it was even like silent movies, maybe, I mean, like, I don't know, 20s, 30s. But she didn't eat sugar then, and at that time, she was saying that it was poison. And stevia fucking sucks. I hate stevia. I'd rather just not eat anything sweet. I mean, I'll do like monk fruit sugar. Sorry, I got on a tangent. I'm trying to tell this Gloria Swanson story. Gloria Swanson, she supposedly aged like extremely well, and she was known for having amazing skin. And in the book they were talking about, she was like, yeah, I don't eat sugar. She's like, that's just it. No sugar. It's poison. It ages you. No sugar. But monk fruit sugar, I do that. I do honey sometimes. I do loco honey to help with some of the allergens. You can do, yeah, Splenda, not really good. That, Splenda is, I don't think Splenda is good for you. I want to say Splenda is, what is that? What is that shit? Aspartame? You know what they do? They like get E. coli feces. When they make aspartame, they get E. coli feces and they spray it with some chemical. I forgot the name of the chemical. It's in I should know this by heart because I wrote about it in my informational zine that I wrote called The Junk in Your Food. But it's chemicals mixed with E. coli feces. So, just so you know. Yeah, it's terrible. It's terrible. Sweet and low. Yeah, I don't think Splenda's good for you. Sorry to burst your bubble. I know you're trying to be helpful, but Splenda's not good. Like, you want you want something that your body can process that goes naturally through your body. So monk fruit sugar is better. It's probably the best. There's also that Swerve stuff, which it's corn-based though. I don't know if I do anything with corn. Personally, just because I'm grains, I don't really eat a lot of grains. Agave could be just as bad. You should research that. Red Bull and other energy drinks have taurine. Yeah, taurine's bad. Chocolate cake. I know, you need chocolate cake every few months. I know. The aliens are coming. Do you think the aliens are coming? You think they're gonna pull out we haven't even talked about anything really political except those little guys that were kind of like little bitches in the Senate hearing. Give me a break, dude. Yeah, what are they gonna release Project Bluebeam? Oh, you said it! You knew! Ursa! High five, Ursa, you know, Ursa knows what's up. Biden is an alien. They're all aliens. They're all interdimensional beings. Project Bluebeam! You went down the rabbit hole. Do you guys know what Project Bluebeam is? Basically, it's a experimental program where they can like beam stuff up into the sky. It's just like a really, I don't know, high-tech holographic program where they can simulate things and make them look very real. I haven't seen any that I know of, but I've heard people talk about it years ago. Project Bluebeam, I just said it. So just look up Project Bluebeam. You might be able to find stuff. I don't know if there's any stuff on YouTube, but I know that there were people that is Veritas hiring more undercover reporters? I don't know. You should go to their page and see. Do you have any thing that I'm sure they're very overwhelmed. So I mean, if you apply, you have to be useful to what they need. But I think they're always hiring. Yeah. Right. Yeah. You guys are really like reading my mind. I think they're always hiring, but you go to their website and it would will say what they're hiring for and if they're looking for. I think my friend wanted to apply and she was saying that you have to take a personality test. So, I mean, which I don't mind. I think that's really smart to do that, especially nowadays, I definitely would want to be wary of who I'm letting in my company. They probably get death threats like every 5 minutes. So, I don't know. Does anybody work in tech or any situation that would be of use to them? Because they're trying to get people that really, it looks like, I mean, I don't know, and it looks like they're trying to get people that are on the inside, Me? Yeah, anybody in Hollywood, anybody that, Oh, wow. So how did you, I'm just curious, how did you lose weight? I'm trying to, with my health coaching that I'm doing, I don't know if I'm going to specialize in weight loss because I've never had an issue with weight loss or my weight, and I don't want to, I mean, I can kind of tell people what to do, but I also would like, I don't really like to talk about stuff or healing that I haven't experienced. So, but I think people that are most successful with stuff like that is people that have been overweight and then they can tell people. Because I can just be like, lose weight. And they'll be like, yeah, no fucking shit. But I haven't had those struggles. I've had other struggles. I can relate to food addiction, but I don't know about weight loss stuff, And there's also a lot of emotional stuff that goes with people that are overweight too. A lot of trauma, a lot of psychological stuff. So even if you try lots of diets and stuff and you've had issues losing weight, maybe you have a trauma that needs to be resolved. Maybe there's some, there's a high correlation with people that have been molested and sexually traumatized with people that are overweight, So, very curious to know what makes people finally decide to get serious about losing weight. Most of my sisters are always dieting, but the thing about dieting too, it's like you really have to have a lifestyle change, not go on a special diet. And people retain weight for different reasons, and it necessarily doesn't even have to do with the fact that they eat a lot, but it's also like, what are they eating? Are they eating processed stuff? Do they have is their liver messed up, You lost weight because you wanted to get laid more? Good for you. Did you get laid more? Did it work? Hopefully it worked. But maybe that was a goal, but hopefully you got so much more than that, because being in good health is just so much better. You're like, I want to get laid. you know. Carb cycling. Yeah, I mean, there's so many ways. There's a lady that I used to live in this apartment, and when I moved back from Taiwan to LA, I went by there, and because I'd grown up there through the years, so I knew these women watched me and my brother, you know, since we were kids all the way up to adulthood. And there's this one lady who was overweight for like years, and I went back, and she had lost all this weight. She looked amazing. It was amazing. So I was like, oh my God, like I didn't even recognize her. And I was like, what did you do? And she of course she was like, yeah, dietary change. And she goes, I actually just went to the pool and I walked. I just walked in the water back and forth for like an hour a day, and that helped me lose weight. And that's a really good way too for to do that resistance walking, because it's like, you know, you can get one of those, have you seen those little encasements for like your iPad or your phone or whatever that you can actually wear in the water? You just listen to music or listen to news or whatever, and you just walk back and forth. Walking back and forth, and you can do that. And if you have bad joints, that's good for your joints, because some people can't necessarily run because it messes up their joints, you know. But if you're walking with resistance in a pool, that's relaxing, and it's actually better for your joints. But then you have the chlorine issue. You got to make sure you detox from the chlorine. That's another issue. But I mean, it worked for her, and she looked amazing. Amazing. It was like, you know, yeah, the dyes and the perfumes can kind of, yeah. Walk or bike ride. Walking or bike riding is good. I need to find some place. I don't want to just mess up my joints. That walk that I took the other day was great, and I should do another one. I need to. Oh, I got one of those ropes. I got a cross ropes. Those are good. Jumping rope is good too. Yeah. All right, guys. I think I'm a bounce today. We will see if my computer is woken up from its coma by Friday. And hopefully then I can take some calls. But please share the panel, the Del Bigtree interview that I did. Any other interviews that you guys, or anything that you want people to share. See. And I will talk to you guys soon. And yes, peace, truth, and love, guys. Bye bye.